nobody really wants to work anymore.
Some people need a little extra support to have the same opportunities as others.
Fear of getting lost and the potential for a survival situation lessens.
These stories and more
tonight on Grady Newsource.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College at the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Hello everyone, welcome to Grady Newsource. I'm DeAndre Harris. We have a lot of stories for you today. Jack Keys starts us off with our big story tonight. Jack?
Thanks, DeAndre. The phrase "justice delayed is justice denied" is a rally cry for those who wait for their right to a speedy trial. More than 400,000 people are in jails across the United States, detained pre-trial. In Georgia, 77% of all inmates in jail are awaiting the chance to prove themselves not guilty or to be found guilty and sentenced. For some of those people, the wait for a speedy trial is a long one. Grady Newsource reporter Eddie Newbert helps us understand why. He joins us now live in the studio to tell us more. Eddie?
Thanks, Jack. That's right. Madison County and surrounding counties are currently looking to solve this issue that started during the COVID pandemic and has lingered ever since. This is one of a couple of stories that I've been working on for a couple weeks that started with expensive medical bills and moved into.
I apologize for that. Please stay with us.
What's going on with X case, especially if they're a victim or if it's a neighbor. And they ask, why hasn't anything happened to this case?
Cases that involve people accused of crimes and staying here behind bars instead of getting to a courtroom to make their case.
Everybody is not getting what they need, but I mean, obviously it's not necessarily their fault.
According to Katie Cross, it's an issue throughout the 5-county Northern Judicial Circuit that includes Madison County. The 5-county system is supposed to have a prosecutor per county, but
our circuit currently only has 2 that are active.
Madison County probate judge Cody Cross understands the problem and the reasons for them. He adds the issue is more than the impact of the past pandemic.
The increasing number of cases that they're having to deal with.
And both Katie Cross and Cody Cross agree there's another issue.
In reality, nobody really wants to work anymore.
Madison County Sheriff's captain deals with the people who fill the cells and knows about that problem too. He adds there's a reason for that as well.
You got a job where you're starting at $50,000-$60,000 a year for an assistant prosecutor, and they're just not able to make that work.
And according to Elbert County District Attorney's Office, the search for prosecutors continues. Eddie Newbert, Grady Newsource. That's right. Madison County and surrounding counties are currently looking to solve this issue that started during the COVID pandemic and has lingered ever since. I'll throw it back to the desk with you guys.
Trump's proposal to ban DEI initiatives in federally funded institutions have had little impact at the University of Georgia. Grady Newsource reporter Tristan Bird explains now why some say it's business as usual.
I mean, the fundamental idea behind equity is that some people need a little extra support to have the same opportunities as others. So providing these supports doesn't take anything away from somebody else. It just helps to provide access to more people.
But in February, the Office of Inclusion and Belonging in the Mary Frances College of Education at UGA did change its name from the Office of DEI.
The terms DE and I are pushing people away rather than inviting people into the conversation. So we wanted to change the name of the office, not to try to hide behind anything or hide what we're doing, but to really signify that what we want to do is bring people together and not cause divisions because of terminology that's gotten co-opted for a lot of different reasons.
There are other issues the office faces, including a termination of some federal funding.
We've had one grant canceled by the federal government that did relate to DEI issues, but in terms of the things that we're doing collectively and internally, we fund those things either with state dollars or foundation dollars, and thus far there have been no directives regarding management of those dollars.
The UGA Office of Inclusive Excellence in Academics is also watching how future mandates from the federal government may alter their efforts. Marquise R. Dexter serves Associate Director in the Office of Inclusive Excellence.
Certainly need to be a change is we may need to pivot how we do things. We need to pivot the language in which we're using. At the end of the day, the intentionality behind what we do and the efforts and why we are doing them should also hopefully speak for it.
Tristan Bird, Grady Newsource.
The strength of the U.S. dollar fell to a 6-month low. Reporter Tanvi Gujral joins us to tell us more.
Thank you, Jack. On Wednesday, after President Trump's new tariffs came into effect, an index that measures the dollar against certain other major currencies was down nearly 0.9% Wednesday morning. That's even lower than the level it dropped to last week. According to one economist, a weaker dollar is not usually how the market responds to U.S. tariffs. Higher U.S. tariffs would normally boost the dollar by lowering the American demand for foreign goods. This expert says the dollar's weakness may reflect a clear and present danger to the U.S. economy. It could also be the way that the tariffs are being implemented has shaken investor confidence in U.S. policymaking and institutions. Now, handling your money can be a bit difficult, especially in this economy, but UGA's Financial Literacy on the Lawn event hopes to bring attendees one step closer to being financially savvy. Today's event had tons of tablers and lots of information with food, music, and lots of activities, educating students and faculty members how to be financially savvy and how to manage their money a lot better. One student at the event even told us that investing early is the key. You can visit the Love and Money Center and talk to Dr. Megan Ford for more information there. Back to you all at the desk.
The fourth fastest growing county in the nation is accommodating its growth by improving infrastructure and building schools.
Yeah, that's right. The rapid expansion in Jackson County, Georgia is creating opportunities for businesses to learn and grow. Here's Grady Newsource reporter Ion Bakley with the story.
Nervous, new business owner in a new industry, new town, didn't know anybody.
That's how Jackson felt before his first lunch and learn.
Immediately, I'm welcomed by someone at the door, and they take me around and introduce me to every single person.
Jackson is the owner of Alpha Insurance in Hoshton. He's managed to go from one employee to now 3. And there are many more opportunities for others.
In addition to attracting new business to the county, we also want to make sure that we're trying to help the existing businesses to grow, maybe even expand.
Owning a business can come with challenges, but there's a lot to learn here.
The lady sitting next to me owns a business here, and as he was talking about how to use your Google business profile, when he finished, she turned to me and she said, I have a Facebook page and I didn't know any of that stuff.
The Chamber of Commerce also hosts events like the Business and Breakfast, which invites business owners to speak to state legislators about laws in the works. Building relationships and helping business owners are important to the chamber.
You'll get comfortable. This is a very welcoming environment. They'll greet you with open arms, and it'll be good for your business.
The Jackson County Chamber of Commerce hosts events like the Lunch and Learn all month. Next Wednesday, April 16th, they're hosting a job expo open to the public. To know more about these events, follow the Jackson County Chamber website. For Grady Newsource, I'm Ion Bakley.
Coming up, a local school system keeps student mental health a priority even while class is out of session.
And a weekend-long clinic is teaching people how to navigate the wild with only a compass. Don't go anywhere. Where is this one is off. No, I'm just off. Oh, I'm off. I didn't have pages.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You're home before sunrise. On top of the house,
Coming up, a local
the
school
kids,
district
and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She carried
Nearly
2
20%
novels
of
on an
children
airplane
ages
because she'd
3 through
read one
17
on a
have a mental,
3-4-hour
emotional,
ride.
developmental, or behavioral
And at some
disorder.
point,
That's a handful.
I began to notice
Although
that
students
she
in
would
Barrow County
read a
are out
page
on
and couldn't
spring break,
remember
school
what she had
personnel
just
are
read,
working
and she'd have to go back and read it
put
again.
them out of class.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me and I love it.
Reporter Megan Pastino highlights the available rental health resources.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Nearly 20% of children ages 3 through 17 have a mental, emotional, developmental, or behavioral disorder. Although students in Barrow County are out on spring break, school personnel are working a plan to support them even when they're out of class.
The county provided digital resources to help students and families navigate this time away from the classroom. Reporter Megan Pastino highlights these available mental health resources.
The resources Barrow County has provided to parents this week. It's the Cook Center for Human Connection. Their online videos offer guidance on various mental health concerns children may face, providing parents with insights to help them support their children during the break. Another option laid out by the county is parentguidance.org. This platform, created by licensed therapists, offers specialized courses and a community where parents can find answers to their mental health questions and learn how to support their kids effectively. These resources were made possible by the Project Aware grant, providing $1.8 million to Barrow County, which, in addition to the programs I just described, will support 3 new staff positions for BCSS, a Project Aware program manager, and 2 mental health clinicians. While classes are out of session, students have access to critical mental health resources within the comfort of their own homes. Coming out of spring break, the Barrow County school system is set to enhance their mental health support by providing parents with access to seminars and personalized coaching aimed at better equipping them to respond to mental health needs. For Grady Newsource, I'm Megan Pastino.
All of the resources outlined in our broadcast are available online, and links can be found by visiting our website, gradynewsource.uga.edu.
If you were lost in the woods with no cell service and just a compass in your hand, would you know what to do?
I would have no idea what to do, but Georgia Bushcraft is pairing with Wildcard Wilderness instructor Jax Janega to head back to the basics and learn things the old-fashioned way.
Reporter Holly Kate O'Brien joins us live. What did you learn, Holly Kate?
Wildcard Wilderness, when she pairs with Georgia Bushcraft to put on these fun events and these weekend-long training sessions to teach people how to survive in the wilderness without a GPS or a compass. There's lots of classrooms out there. It's about a 30-acre land. It's super, super cool. I got to walk around with her as I experienced that. So take a look.
So navigation gives you, owning that skill and mastering that skills gives you freedom to explore, and your fear of getting lost and the potential for a survival situation lessens.
For Wildcard Wilderness and Georgia Bushcraft instructor Jax Janega, learning to navigate the land isn't just about maps and compasses. It's about building confidence and independence. Land navigation is a lost art, and Janega thinks that today too many people are becoming dependent on their GPSs and their phones to find their way home. But they are fallible, and they're also not always accurate.
And a compass is way more useful than for just navigation. You can use it for a lot of things.
Fourth-year UGA student Seth Kinberg has hiked parts of the Appalachian Trail and the Barham Trail. He says that his experience outdoors has taught him to not overly rely on technology while out there, a mindset that Janega hopes to foster in her students.
One thing that I've always found is really useful is knowing like the land features and knowing like elevation gain areas.
Those are the kinds of skills Janeva teaches at this farm in Oconee County when she's not traveling across the United States in her van. From beginners learning to orient a map to experienced hikers looking to sharpen their survival skills, Janega's goal is the same: to reconnect people with the land and the confidence that comes with knowing where you stand. Holly Kate O'Brien, Grady Newsource.
With Masters action around the corner, patrons and golfers alike hope for clear skies over the next few days.
Coming up after the break, I'll be here with our 5-day forecast and what to expect for Georgia's marquee weekend.
I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suit. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far. A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
The Dutch. Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
You're home before sunrise. On top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
A big weekend awaits, and Jack Keys is here with the 5-day forecast to make sure you're ready to finalize those plans and to watch the Masters. I don't know about you, Jack, but I felt a little chilly today. Will there be more of that to come this week?
I don't know. How about you check out this golf swing right around the corner? We're expecting some good weather. I actually thought it was pretty nice out today, DeAndre. I like the light breeze while I was walking around on campus, so I can't complain there. But DeAndre is right. It was a little brisk today thanks to the 10-mile-per-hour winds. The sun was definitely out, though, and we had the modest high temperature of 67 degrees. Looking forward to tonight, we'll see clear skies as well with a low of 46. As for the rest of the week, tomorrow pushing it up to the 70s, but we could see the wind tick up even more, potentially 15 miles per hour. And then Friday will be mostly sunny with about a 30% chance of precipitation. That chance is around 24% in Augusta, so golfers shouldn't be too concerned quite just yet, but it could you could rain a little bit down there. And then closing out the week with some more modest temperatures, a high of 66 on Saturday, high of 71 on Sunday as well. Both days are expected to be pretty clear, which bodes well for those in hot pursuit of a green jacket in Augusta. Speaking of which, coming up after the break, a Georgia coach is behind a Masters tradition. 7 former Bulldogs are set to tee off at Augusta National. We'll show you how Chris Hack has built a legacy that reaches all the way to golf's biggest stage.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers. He connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far. A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to
such.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
Welcome back. 7 former University of Georgia golfers are in the 2025 Masters, a testament to the legacy of Coach Chris Hack, who built a program preparing his athletes for golf's biggest stage. Take a look at this hole-in-one. Chris Hack isn't a Masters champion. In fact, he's never played in the tournament. But make no mistake, his fingerprints are all over Augusta.
Okay.
Under Hack's leadership,
UGA
UGA became more than a team.
What I wanted to show you,
It became a brotherhood,
first and foremost,
where golf's future
being that-
champions learned
that
to
it's
trust their
Masters
swing
week.
and each other.
That was the shot he was
Meet Chris
hitting,
Hack, the
when he won the
architect
playoff.
behind one of college golf's most prolific pipelines to the pros.
I've been coaching for 29 years here at the University of Georgia, and been playing golf since I was 12 years old. So I've been around the game for a long, long time, having Masters.
7 former Bulldogs, 7 different journeys. But one common thread, the man who first put belief in their backswing.
Another great shot. We take golf very serious, and in the state of Georgia, golf is a big sport. You know, it's probably right behind football and basketball, and baseball is probably golf, and that's, you know, there's a lot of great golf courses, a lot of tradition in the state of Georgia.
With the shadows of Bubba Watson's green jacket right here at UGA's Boys Golf Center, Chris Hack may not wear a green jacket, but then when you take a look at who does and how they earned it, well, Chris Hack doesn't need to. Big weekend for the Bulldogs. 7 in the Masters and G-Day this weekend. Let's go live to Gunter Schroeder at Sanford Stadium with more on this weekend's spring game.
Thanks, DeAndre. Well, we're out here at Sanford Stadium, which has been dormant for the past few months, but that all changes this Saturday as Team Red gets ready to face Team Black in the G-Day spring game. But there are some changes on the way, as of course, the game will not be televised for the first time in quite a while, that decision being made last month, but tickets are still open to the public. They'll be $10 to come and see the first edition of the 2025 Georgia team, and there's plenty of storylines to look out for. How will Gunnar Stockton acclimate to that QB1 role? How will the new wide receiver room look with some departures? And how will the defense rebound after a disappointing end to last season? We'll all see that here on the field, here at Dooley Field at Sanford Stadium, as the Bulldogs get set to take the field once again. Reporting live from Athens, I'm Gunter Schroeder, Grady Newsource.
Don't go anywhere. And I think it's more like, We'll be right back after this break.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie. So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.
you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
The weekend is right around the corner, and so is the Georgia Rodeo.
On Friday, that park rodeo event returned to the Athens Fairground. It will only be one-day event with parking opening at 11 a.m.
If you're interested in the rodeo, it will run from 1:30 to 4, and if live music is more your style, that will start at 4:30 with the Red Clay Strays headlining. How about that?
Right, so Jack, will you be there?
I don't know. I'm probably going to be sat like this right now on my couch watching the Masters. It's going to be pretty hard to pull me from my couch. Are you a big country fan?
So, you know, I like Big Green Tractor, but besides that, I'm not really.
Hold on, the Red Clay Strays, Zach Top, Cameron Whitcomb, Maggie Antone, and Gabriella Rose. Those are the people headlining the Georgia Rodeo. You familiar with any of them?
I might just check them out.
You might check them out. Well, I think I'm going to be watching the Masters. That's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks for making us a part of your evening. I'm Jack Keys.
And I'm DeAndre Harris. For all of us here at Grady Newsource, we appreciate you watching. Stay updated on the latest story by checking out our website at gradynewsource.uga.edu and all of our socials at Grady Newsource. That's on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you right back here on Monday.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You're home before sunrise, on top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and...
The story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Grady News Show post-show critique. We're not sure that it started yet, but it has. Thank you so much for watching our show, and we hope you had a chance to check us out on Instagram, where we were live this evening for a little while. Thank you, Olivia, who is our talent there. We appreciate you watching as always, and now we're going to start the post-show critique. And we want to hear first from our producer. Producer, what did you love? What would you change?
Yeah, first shot I want to say for this entire week is all y'all turned in readers, which was super awesome. I asked that of y'all, and it definitely helped me out a lot, being able to see what we could take, what we could use, and just having that. And I'm sure, like, that's a huge help for producers moving forward. I know we only have really 1 week left, but I thought that was a huge help. But I think today was really cool how there were so many stories that y'all were working on. there was a lot that we had, and I even had to ask some of y'all to sort of cut down like what times y'all could turn in your packages so that we could have time so that all y'all could be live, or not live, but be on the show. So that was really cool. Yeah, I think shout out to the anchors as well. We had some technical hiccups at the beginning that sort of left us with a little extra time that we needed to fill, and I asked a lot out of them, and they were able to kill, almost a minute total. So, that was really huge, and it was very natural as well. The banter that DeAndre and Jack had was very good, very natural. That's the big thing, being natural. So, yeah, that's about it that I have that I can think of off the top of my head. Was there anything?
So I want to mention real quick a special thanks to Gunter, because we had to do a last-minute pivot, and it's always comforting to send somebody out on a sports story who knows sports. It's like I got no script, nothing. At 4:30, I don't know, maybe it was 10 till 5, who knows, but I'm like, hey, Gunter, you're just kind of like hanging around the newsroom. Yeah, I'm getting ready to go. Well, do you think you should go? Yeah, it's just at Sanford. I'm like, boy, is this different than at the beginning of the semester. I've got to go to Sanford. I need to leave. It's in 3 hours. I need to leave now. So I like, as I mentioned, the last two critiques. You guys are at that point where you've got a lot of confidence in yourselves, and that's really good. Don't let it trip you up, though, because stuff still happens. But Gunnar, you did a great job in sports, and you did a great job with the G-game thing, just flipping it at the last minute. Good job.
Yeah. And also for Tanvi as well, having to react on the go as well when her package didn't run. So that was really good. But yeah, I thought it went great besides that, and I really enjoyed the packages and stories that y'all gave me today. So,
Erin, your thoughts?
I think today was really good. We had a lot of good stories today. As Blake said, we had to cut some down, and I think we got them all in, even though some didn't run. You did a great job. I think I turned to Cantrell and said she's doing great. And I applaud those in tech who were learning new stuff, or not. Things were getting changed around and stuff, and they were doing really good. Was really happy with everybody's story. Getting leads in was really good. We had a lot of leads in even before the packages were in, which was really good for me because I knew I could go and print and check those over and make sure they were all good for the anchors and everything. So,
yeah, Tanvi, you did a really nice job. I said, where's the package? I thought you got a package in. And they're like, well, no, it didn't work. And I thought, my next question was going to be, why did you make a decision just to have her go live instead of run her package? Because she did such a good job. It seemed like, oh, we decided on that plan instead of the other plan. So that's really good. I also wanted to say something about DeAndre's package. It was a really good piece of writing. And Aaron turned to be at the end with your last sentence. That was really good. And I have a couple of more notes on it, and maybe turning up the nat sound and kind of pulling yourself back a little when you do that. But if you guys get a chance to take a look, it's a really good piece of writing that tells me something. I've heard all the master stuff I want to hear. I know about the grass. I know about the azaleas. I know you'll be glued to it, and you'll tell me all about it Monday if I'm unlucky. If I'm lucky. But when DeAndre was doing his story, I cared deeply. I got that sense that the master's pretty proud moment. It's a pretty proud moment for UGA as well, and thank you for that. All right. Who would like to go next? Who had this was really great, and this is an aha on what I'm going to do better next time, or do different?
Okay, so one of my goals, and I think a lot of other people in here, has been to kind of do a more advanced package by getting creative with it. And so I had a really cool creative stand-up that I thought was really creative. It was me sitting on one of those bowl things. Do you know what I mean? At fairs and things. Anyways. It was fun, whatever, but I think today was a really great learning moment for me, and I think a lot of other people can learn from this too, is the more creative you get with it, that's great, but don't lose the meat of what your package is, and don't lose, I guess, what really matters and the main information, and that's what Kentrell was telling me. And yeah, it was just a good learning moment.
Yeah, and there does come a point where you guys will get to the point where you'll have all the meat, and then your creativity will be the secret sauce that makes it stand out. Anybody else have something that they particularly liked about what they did today?
is way faster.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I had no idea. I believe I'm going to try that tonight. Breaking a hip. Don't you talk about me breaking a hip.
What a great segue. Anywho, I want to say, again, start of the day, I was thinking about sports, y'all, last night. That's never, like, on my mind. Like, housewives, yes. Sports, So I'm thinking, what am I going to produce tomorrow? And so this morning, I was a little bit weary, so I emailed the head coach, and I was not worried I was going to get a call back. He called me back, and he was available. And that man was, he was great. I toured the whole grounds of that golf course. I knew what the locker room looked like. I knew what these trophies looked. He was showing me more. I'm ready to leave. He's like, but wait. But wait. And I was like, okay, I can wait. So that was great, and it taught me a newfound respect for my sports people in here. It was fun, and I liked it. And I may do a little golf here or there, you know? I might get on the caddy.
It's not a car. Nothing. We're just explaining. A caddy is somebody they like carry the clubs and. Okay. We're gonna be able to continue this in just a moment. Okay, that moment is here. Olivia.
What am I just about myself?
What's something that you felt really good about today, and what's something that you'd like to try next week?
We're still working on getting content up right now, but I am excited. All right, I like the way that Gunter's stuff turned out today, and I'm excited to get that like cross interaction between like Instagram and our other platforms once all of our reporters get their stuff on the website or the YouTube. Like Alana and I, when we finish this, we're gonna throw her like little tease up on Instagram, link it to her website post. So to like facilitate that cross interaction. I also thought the live was kind of fun. It was something I thought of, I guess kind of last minute today. But I just think it's interesting. Like the control room's not something that you get to see like when you watch on YouTube. So having that behind the scenes was fun to do until Cantrell was like, just start talking. And I was like, what? But it was good, it was fun. We had more viewers than I thought. I mean, I was only live for like, not a lot. I was only live for like 8 minutes, but I saw. But yeah, I thought that was fun too. So yeah.
I applaud you for trying something. And you tried something a little bit different, but it made sense. It's not like, what a crazy idea. It wasn't crazy at all. The platform accepts that. This is the realm you all are going to work in. And to be able to cross-promote in a way that makes sense because it is where most people are watching, that to me was like a very flat forehead, very sensible thing to do. And I love that you tried it.
Thank you.
And I hope we'll do some more of that.
Yeah, I think it could be fun to like feature different things. Like, oh, well, this is the sports block, or oh, this is like what the floor director does when the show goes live, and stuff like that.
And while you were doing that, I was also thinking, what if you had invited people like after Eddie's story ran?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I wanted to go up to one of them. I don't think the tech team is the right people to like go up to during commercial breaks, but I wanted to like.
Yeah, they'll have your head.
Yeah, Kira would have been like, Olivia, get out of here. But I was thinking of going down there and like. Aaron had given me a good suggestion, like, oh, pass it off to maybe one of the reporters that's coming out of the room or going into the room, and then they can like bring the live in there and be like, okay, like I'm about to go live, this is what my story's about, I'm getting mic'd up, and then they could pass it off to someone else while they go, like, I don't know. I think it was kind of fun.
It's a peek behind the curtain.
Yeah. Like I would definitely click on it and watch it.
But I was wondering if we couldn't use it because of the comment feature, if we couldn't invite people to ask questions about the stories. And if that wouldn't be able to tell us, you know, I had a few questions. I always have a few questions. Okay, I have a lot of questions after every story. But I think our audience is, you know, what's that one more thing that maybe we missed? Because, you know, you all get so into your stories and you know so much. And as we all know, the job is to, how can we tell as much as we can, but parse it back so it's understandable and we're not drowning our audiences in detail that isn't necessarily germane. But what if, could we say, maybe after Eddie's story, could Eddie come on and then Macy say something like, I'm going to be working on this story. I've been working on this story for a while. If you've got any questions, hit us up on Instagram.
Or like, what do you want to see going forward?
Yeah,
or stuff like that.
on particular stories. Do you think that would be something? I mean, you guys are the Instagram savvy people, not me.
Yeah, and I think as we do it more, it would only gain like more traction. Like obviously, I'm sure people when they saw like on their story feature that Grady was live, they were probably like, what? Because I feel like we don't do it often, but I feel like if that's something we keep fleshing out, it could be cool.
I enjoyed that. I think that's a very good idea. And I think it does speak, at the end of the day, we've talked about this, that in terms of revenue, and I know y'all don't want to hear about the revenue thing, but you do need to know because you'll be negotiating your pay one day and somebody's going to throw it at you. Well, our revenue numbers are down. But in terms of revenue, when you think about, what's really going to earn revenue for television stations, it's the streaming channels, it's the web. The social is a way to get people to the dance. We do need to get them to the dance. And I just really appreciated the use of social in a way that can maybe drive people to engage with us more and maybe to begin to engage on those other platforms.
And
So,
like, obviously
yeah.
today, like only doing a little bit, like those people that were maybe on, it's like, oh, well, wait, I wanted to keep watching. And now it forces them to like move to the YouTube because that's where they can get the content from once I got off of Instagram.
Did we pitch that? 'Cause,
I did at the end. I just
good.
was like, that's our first commercial break. If you want to keep watching the show, head over to our YouTube at Grady Newsource. I said something like that.
Neat. I think that's good. Well, guys, let's keep it up next week.
I think that if you go live more,
What?
skip.
Oh, Skip. Who did I
would say
skip? Oh, got
If we
it.
go live more and more people see it, it might not only be open to more questions, but also there might be people watching that are in Grady that haven't done the capstone yet, and they might be like, oh, this is something I want to do. Or maybe next time if we do it, say the people in there are volunteers, you can come volunteer and help with lives or audio,
Oh,
floor
that's a
direct.
great idea.
Like you can promote, like you can come and see live in person, you can volunteer and kind of see if this is something you want to do. If it's interesting to watch, it might be interesting to do.
Albeit terrifying.
You guys want to put me on live duty? I'll do it.
I think that's something you guys ought to talk about. Anybody? Any more? Yes, Alana.
Thanks.
Update number 5 on your latest, on your story.
Oh, right.
No, you don't have to.
Well, I guess it's about that too. I'm just, over the past 2 weeks, I think I'm proud that even though I've still been working on another story, I've been able to push out news regardless. And even though it's slow, it's still getting somewhere with the sources that I need to tell the story. And then I also am proud, oh shoot, I forgot the other thing I was gonna say. Well, I guess that's it.
Well, if it comes to you, holler. Anybody else want to share a proud moment and what you'd like to do next week? Ayan.
I think for me today, I hit that human element of the package. Of
Yes, you did.
Sharing that feeling of, of what it's like to be in a certain situation. And I think we talked about also when you start with a character, you want to end with the character. And I feel like I did a good job of incorporating that and ending with that character that I started with. One thing I want to improve on is, I know in Professor Shumway's class, we tried to do a package with no voiceover and just the people telling the story. And I want to try to do that next week with whatever story it is. Let them tell the story and me get the B-roll that helps tell their story.
Professor Shumway is a highly, 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 highly trained professional in that. And he makes hard stuff look easy. I will applaud you for attempting that. And I will be thrilled if you can pull that off, because it is, butting together sound bites isn't hard, but telling a story, a narrative story that has the build-up and the climax and the denouement, building a real narrative story, oh my, that is hard. So if you can do it, yay you, and I absolutely think you ought to tackle it. But don't be fooled, Shumway makes it look easy.
Yeah, I'm going to try. That's
Good.
That's all it is. I'm gonna
That's
try.
all we can do. Well, I have faith. New things. All right. Anybody else have something that they're proud of and that they want to give a shot next week? Anything new? No? No? Jack?
You're looking at me.
No,
I should say something. Let's say something. I'll say something.
I guess I have something to say too after that.
Okay.
I had a lot of fun today, Anchor. DeAndre and I had fun doing, obviously we kept a serious tone throughout, making sure the news was delivered appropriately, but I look back at that experience and I think that's something I want to kind of build off of and work towards being better because, you know, when you're bouncing off of your co-anchor and you're having fun reporting the news, that is the goal of this, right? And if you're entertaining yourself, like I was kind of laughing at myself, I'm sure others feel the same way to a certain extent. So.
When you love, when you enjoy your craft, you constantly improve at it. And when we constantly improve in this craft, we serve in a really important way. So kudos to you both for that.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
Okay. I am proud of myself for doing 2 live shots with ad-libbing both of them. Yeah, on Monday I used my phone for notes, which I probably didn't need to do, but today I didn't. And I saw that my audio was cut off, but I made like a cute little like reference to not having my phone and not having it was pavement and just focusing on the trees behind me. If you guys didn't get it, but it was
That's okay, you got it.
But it was good in the moment. Anyways, next week I'm going to really think ahead of the game. And this week Monday I kind of scrambled for things because I was focusing on a story working for Monday and didn't work out, so that I used it today. But then Cantrell's right that I scheduled my interview on Monday for today, but I should have asked her for more interview sources to interview, because then today I had to resort to a phone call. So I need to be like more ahead of the game and actually like on it. I think I just get so caught up on like I need to focus on like getting my story done for today, but then I kind of like mess myself up for Wednesday. So thinking ahead of the game and really getting all the stuff I need to be getting.
Yes, and the truth of the matter is this business, this profession does force us to think about what's right in front of us. And it will take you a while to develop the skill. So being able to acknowledge it is already like, yay, you're ahead of the game, because you know, you go after this stuff all day long, and when it's over, you're just like, oh, you know, thank goodness. And it's hard to, as you all know, it's hard to multitask. You guys are balancing other classes, etc., and it is difficult. And it is certainly difficult when you have something in your face and there's a clock going. Yes.
It's interesting, like when we talk about finding the interviews. Like I was watching, I don't remember what channel we were on, but my roommates and I had like finished watching something and the news just popped on the TV, and it was some story about something, and the 2 interview subjects were kind of unrelated from what had happened, and my roommates were like, well, why couldn't they get someone at the plant or someone here or someone there? And I'm like, it's not that they didn't try, it's just like you have to go out and learn to like constantly pivot, and sometimes the interview subjects might not be like who you thought you would go talk to when you pitch that at 9 a.m., but like you just got to pivot and move to the next thing. I think it was like a dad and their son who was at like a barber shop next door, and it was like kind of unrelated from what was happening, but they still had like that impact of being a member of the community. But it was just interesting because they like didn't understand that like people say no, and like you can't always like align with people's schedules. So I just thought that was interesting.
Olivia, that's more than interesting. That gives you all really a peek behind the audience curtain, and that is, you know, I have this horrible joke that none of y'all think is funny, but I do, and that's when you give me a bunch of excuses, I say, please don't tell me, just run a crawl. Hi, audience, we weren't able to get this interview because this happened, that happened, then they hung up on me, and then they didn't return their calls, and then I sent an email, and it went to their spam. You know, run a crawl. Nobody cares. But you got a really, like, instant life look at the audience has expectations, and they're like, hey, why didn't you do that, you idiot? No, but they literally.
They don't get, like, not that they don't get it.
No, they don't get it.
Don't understand how much goes into like.
And you know, and guess what? They don't care, do they? They don't care. They want what they want, and we have to really strive to give it to them. That's why, when I tell y'all, show me the baby, show me the baby, show me the baby. But I think that's really important that you had two people literally, because, we think we're doing news for an audience that, well, they should just understand what we're doing, what we go. No, they don't. If they did, they wouldn't have their jobs. They would have your job. So anyway, that's really kind of a aha moment, isn't it? When you watch and you just want to go, I have to defend our profession all the time like that. But you don't understand. Go, Mickey.
I think you guys have gotten so much better over the course of the semester, and I'm just so proud of you guys. There's so many things that you guys are hitting the mark on, but there's just two things I really want to emphasize as you guys have your last couple stories. One, Tom V did a great job doing a creative stand-up. You guys actually have people critique your shows, but when I was in school, I'm 22, guys, but our feedback came from, they didn't watch our shows, it came from a place of just general advice, and a lot of them told us that when you look to get jobs, and everyone eventually gets to a point where they can make a solid package, because I think you guys are there, then you have to continue to stand out. So one, I was going to say creative stand-ups are especially going to be great for you guys, because that's how it's going to be oh, this person knows what they're doing, they can have a little fun. Jack and DeAndre looked really natural today, and it's that's how they're going to get hired, because they look like they can get things done. So just think about that with your last two stories before your Sojo pieces, and also be creative in your Sojo pieces, because that's going to be really, really good pieces. And then the second thing is a lot of you, I think almost all of you, write to video now, which is really good, but I think sometimes we can take I don't remember what it is, close, tight.
Oh, wide, medium, tight.
Yes.
I know, that just is not resonating.
Gosh, I don't know why that didn't.
So, well, obviously I'm saying it wrong because you don't even remember. Jeez.
That was a terrible moment of me. But I think some of you guys take that very literal, and I think that you can, once again, still get creative on your writing to video. I think right now you guys are finally getting to that point where you're comfortable writing the script based off what you have, but now I think you guys need to just get more creative in the field and think, what can I get? You guys did it the first and second week because Cantrell told you guys to be creative, but I feel now that she's not reminding you, that you're going back to kind of the basics. But I think you guys are doing such a good job, and I'm so proud of you guys.
Thank you, Mickey. That was very, very helpful. Yes.
This kind of goes back to Holly Kate's point about sources, and I guess Mickey's point too. I had a story on Monday, and my two most important sources couldn't talk until Tuesday, and I knew that the story was still important to tell, so I did my package on Monday, and then I made sure I'm gonna keep doing it on Wednesday. And I just think when I had the ability to look forward and I had that room to just wiggle, I was able to really sit down and be okay, now how can I expand the story with creativity and just different things that I wanted to do. So when you said talking to people, it's also super important to ask them, well, who do you think I should talk to? What do you think? Asking their input, because also the story looks one way to you, but to the other, to your source, it looks completely different. So I made sure to ask my sources, well, what do you think? Well, what do you want to add? And who do you think I should talk to? I think was also really important. And
that is a really important reminder, everybody. It's kind of like an information gathering. Well, in my mind, we always talked about it. Maybe y'all heard it, maybe you didn't. But it was always, before you leave an interview, is there anything else that I should know? So I think that's really important that you pointed that out. Yeah, Mickey, you made a good point in that. I'm not, kind of bang, 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 here's some ideas. At the beginning of the semester, I do all that. If you can dream it, you can do it, because any inhibitions you have, at the beginning of the semester, everybody's like, what do you want us to do? What do you want it to look like? And I'm going, here, try things, be bold. because you need that permission and you need to know that I got you. It's going to be fine. But then I've throttled back a little bit because what I've also learned over decades of this is that if I come in and have all the ideation pretty soon, everybody's going, Kentrell, what's your idea? What do you think? And then that just destroys, we leave a lot of great ideas unheard. So I don't want to do that either. But I would urge you to kind of look back at some of the beginning stuff that you did. And I will say that, and I've said this the last couple of times now, you guys have gotten good enough to be chillaxing a little bit. Beware of that. Just beware of that, because that's when things can get a little. You know, it always made me nervous when a live truck operator got really good at his job, because live trucks are very dangerous, and there's a history of some people getting electrocuted really badly. You know, when you start, if you're still a little bit nervous, have a few butterflies, you're real careful. So just mind that a little bit. And I know you guys are toward the end of the semester and it's tough, but I would ask you for the next 2 weeks if you can really kind of amp up and focus and consider, even if you have a job, that this is something you might need to use in some aspect to get that next job. Okay? All righty. Any questions, concerns? Got a what? Oh, no, you haven't said anything about the tech. I think we did some bad stuff.
Hey guys, just me.
Hey Kira. Hey, just you.
Hey.
Just Jack.
So, okay, we had a little bit of a chaotic day on tech. Apologies to your producers for that. Overall, I think our biggest struggle today was audio all around, all over the board.
We were training, weren't we?
We did have some new people on tech today, so as always, we are a completely volunteer-run staff, and almost every day we have somebody new that we're kind of training on the fly. As much as we try and train people ahead of time, it doesn't always work. But we're also operating this week without our trusty broadcast engineer, so we were working on a lot of that. But we had a couple of mics that simply didn't work, and I know that our anchors did not have working IFBs, so I'm going to pass that along to Andrew, and hopefully we can get that fixed for y'all by Monday, not Wednesday, by Monday. So hopefully y'all have that next week. I'm also going to ask Andrew what's going on with your packages, because I just don't know why Tonvi's package didn't.
I'm going to have him take a look.
Today.
Did you take a look to see if it had gigabytes or megabytes or?
We looked at it. Tonvi and I looked at it together, and I thought we had solved it, and then turns out we didn't.
Okay,
so
we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it.
We're problem solving that. But I think post, we had 2 mostly successful live shots, and your show was jam-packed. We had a bunch of 2 boxes. We had a lot of moving around. So I think once we got out of those first 3 or 4 lines, we had a really, really clean show and a really successful show. So appreciate y'all for that, and appreciate y'all for working with us every week. We love you.
Thank you, Kira. And please thank the volunteers, because honestly.
Yes, and shout out to my volunteers, because they rock.
Because thank goodness they're willing to learn.
Yes, we really appreciate that. And if anyone watching wants to come volunteer, we work every single day. So
I loved the idea. I love the idea that Aaron had about that.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm taking a look.
Send
really.
people to us. We want new volunteers.
I think on the 14th, so as you might imagine, trying to bring some more people in here to talk to y'all, and we're going to have somebody in here Monday, and I can't find her name. But anyway, so I'm trying to bring in some professionals to talk with you. Everybody got my email? Does everybody understand what's what with the scheduling, when your first Sojo scripts are due, yada, yada? Yes, ma'am.
I have a question about the portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a portfolio of the work we've done here?
So you can't graduate from Grady without a portfolio review. You can't graduate, so you got to get that to me. So yeah, it can. Your portfolio is whatever work you choose that you're going to send. A portfolio in this class, you can have a reel. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
That's all.